Hi guys, Iron Cameraman here. If Larry was able to successfully use hypnosis to kill the host and take over the Astro Toilet's body, what's stopping the TV men from building a giant head and pulling the same trick on, say, the Astro Duchess? Or here's another idea. What if the Abyss could be used as a prison? Just open the gate, toss your enemy in, close it. Boom. Perfect jail. Also, today you'll find out where the Astro Duchess got her body, how the TV Titan can be freed, and why both the TV scientist and cameraman detective need the scientist. And actually, that's not even half of what you'll learn. The juiciest stuff is coming up, so I won't waste time. Before we start, hit the like button if you want Titan Cameraman to slap the Duchess upside the head for using the cameraman base as her personal chair. If we get enough likes, I'm sure he won't let us down. And yeah, as you probably guessed from that intro, today we're diving into more fan theories. But before we start, one quick note. I know there's been a flood of news lately. Leaks, the teaser from Michael Bay, answers from Boom, and more. I'm working on a full video about all of that right now, so hit subscribe if you don't want to miss it. You won't believe what I found out. All right, let's roll. So, how did the Skibidi sneak onto the cameraman base to propose an alliance? The TV scientist brings it up, asking if the cameraman checked everyone. He nods yes, but there's one detail that answers everything. For a brief moment, the eyes of the guy in the gas mask glow green. And as we know, green energy grants invisibility and hologram abilities. So that's likely how the Skibidi got in undetected. And here are a few more interesting things. First, the secret agent actually supports the alliance between the Skibidi Toilets and the Alliance, and he's actively working toward it. Second, the secret squad includes not just agents, but regular humans too. So it's totally possible that one day Skibidis and even Astros might be part of it. We already know the secret agent is cooperating with both the scientist and G-Toilet. Now here's the third thing. In that same scene, both the TV scientist and the detective separately call in the scientist for questioning. Why do they both need him? As you might recall, the TV scientist was involved in one of the early gate experiments, the one where a mysterious interference was mentioned in the background. Most likely, that interference was the secret agent himself. Could that experiment be tied to the main one mentioned by Kathy in her talk with Dave? What's the big secret behind it? No idea. But the TV scientist might have brought the scientist in to help uncover what really went wrong back then. Maybe he already knew the secret agent had become the Alpha Hills administrator, since the agent wasn't exactly hiding. And of course, that's probably the same reason the detective wants to question him. He's still investigating the whole secret agent case. Speaking of the case, the secret agent faked the footage. You can tell by the quick smirk that flashes for a second, the overacting, and the fact that the original scene with Lucky was changed without any explanation. But the detective, who's no fool, didn't buy it and kept Lucky in custody. That clearly wasn't part of the secret agent's plan, so chances are he'll interfere again, likely using his agents, either the twins or the guy in the gas mask. Now, here's one last interesting theory about the secret agent, specifically his partner, the agentess. Some people think they're married. There are two reasons for this. First, the agentess wears a ring on her ring finger, which usually suggests she's married. Second, they wear the same glasses. Is that theory legit? Personally, I don't think so. And here's why. We never see a ring on the agent himself, and if it was under his glove, a stone that size would stick out, but it doesn't. The matching glasses might just be a visual trick to show that she's his equal, not necessarily his wife. It could be meant to symbolize that she's operating on the same level as the agent, with the same or similar powers. Also, isn't it weird we've never actually seen these two together? Not in the SWAT photo, not in Alpha Hills. If Boom wanted to hint at a close connection between them, it's strange that he never did. Now let's talk about the TV men and their interesting ability to hijack enemy electronics. Once they get rid of the pilot, basically the head, they can fully take over. This trick could work on any Astro, even the Duchess. How? Simple. First, take control of her body using a TV so she can't fight back. Then cut off the head and replace it with a TV unit that stays in control permanently. And the Duchess might not even die. We've already seen that Astro heads can survive after being separated from the body. Another question is where she even got that full body from. It's definitely not the body of the dead Titan cameraman. They don't look anything alike. Most likely, it was delivered to Earth by the mothership. We've already seen that Astro and even Skibidi bodies are modular, You can easily attach limbs, a torso, and theoretically swap out parts when needed, just like Titan Cameraman did with his arm. The next few theories are all about our beloved TV Titan. Let's start with his plan. Some people think getting captured by the Astros was actually part of it, like he wanted to steal their tech and get upgrades. But honestly, that theory makes no sense. First of all, he teleported back to the base twice. The first time was right after stealing Juggernaut's energy cannon with that fake-out retreat, and the second time was after leaving with some help from G-Man. Now tell me, why would you try to escape a battlefield if your goal was to stay there and get captured? If that were true, Titan could have just played along and let Juggernaut beat him right at the start. Plus, by teleporting, he actually put all the TV men and their base in danger. Here's another problem. How would Titan even know the Astros had a parasite core and wouldn't just destroy him on the spot? And if he did know, why didn't the TV men come up with a plan ahead of time to just shoot the core and free him? Everything points to this. His plan was to grab tech like Juggernaut's weapon, but getting captured? That was clearly not part of it. All his and the other TV men's actions say otherwise. Now, people keep asking, is it possible to take back control of Titan TV Man? The parasites don't work on him thanks to a built-in defense that zaps them with energy. But the parasite core still got through. So yeah, his protection clearly has limits. If you gave the parasite some kind of insulation or energy deflector, it might work. And don't forget G-Man's purple and green energy spheres. The purple one probably won't do anything to Titan since it used to be his own energy, or at least it was before he got taken over. Now that orange energy flows through his body, maybe it'll work. The green one is trickier. First, it needs the secret agent's help. He does seem to care about freeing Titan, so that's a plus. Second, it's not really clear what the green energy actually does. In battle, it temporarily disabled the core's laser absorption, but didn't take full control. But back in Alpha Hills, it worked great on basic tech. So either the agent was trying not to damage anything during the Titan fight, or maybe the more powerful the device, the more energy you need to break through. That's why it was easy to take over Scorpion's claws, but not the core. And it's probably why that light anti-parasite cannon didn't work on Speaker Titan either. So chances are the Alliance is gonna need to build a new, super strong version of that weapon if they want to shut down the parasite core. With all three factions plus the Skibidi Toilets working together, that shouldn't be too hard. TV men are gonna play a key role. They can stop Titan from teleporting away mid-fight. But if he's wearing an Astro Warp Ring, well, they'll need to deal with that too. We'll see. So let's talk about something big. The Alliance might actually be able to develop their own parasite core, if two things happen. First, they manage to free the TV man Titan and keep the parasite core intact. That way, they could flip its polarity, so it obeys their commands and even turns Astros into allies. The second condition? G-Man. As a former Astro commander, he probably knows all the weak spots and internal structure of the parasite core. With that knowledge, the Alliance could either recreate the core or change the polarity of enemy energy into something friendly. And why would they even want that? Well, it'd let them take control of any Astro with an exposed core, including the Duchess. Now, ever since they lost their Titan, the TV men are left with just one piece of Astro tech they grabbed at the last second: Juggernaut's wrist energy cannon. So what could they do with it? First, they could study it and maybe arm the entire Alliance with that tech. We've already seen versions of Scorpion's Claw, so don't be surprised if a mini energy cannon shows up later too. Second, they might just hand the weapon over to their allies, most likely to the Speakermen, since their Titan Speakerman is probably being upgraded to version 3.0 right now, or maybe he already is. Another option, ironically, would be giving it to G-Man. As a former Astro, he would know how to use it effectively, and it fits his size way better than the smaller Speakerman Titan. In one of my previous theory videos, I called the TV men's dimension the Abyss, and some of you pushed back, saying that the TV scientist called it the Gate, and you're right. But here's the catch. What exactly did he call the Gate? A gate leads somewhere, and we know where. To the place where Jeffrey got stuck, between the past and maybe the present, or the future. Big TV Man never actually called it a gate in that cryptic question he asked Hugo. If it was just a basic portal leading from point A to B, then yeah, gate would make sense. But this thing has its own properties and functions as a space in between. So for clarity, I call the smoky entry point the gate, and the realm beyond that, the abyss. And as we've seen with Jeffrey, you can get stuck in it, which means, yeah, the abyss could be used as a weapon. Against who, you ask? Of course, the Astros. It's a perfect prison, one you can only escape using a TV man teleport. And Astros? They're probably not going to be fitted with that, even now after capturing the TV Titan, because their travel tech relies on warp engines and rings and coils. Even the all-powerful looking mothership would be helpless in that endless void. If you liked these ideas, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I'm not done yet. I've got a couple more deep dive theory videos in the works, and I'm also finishing up a news breakdown full of some spicy stuff. Stay tuned. See you soon.